What's up guys, welcome back to 8 Count. Today we're going to be talking about the Kingpyn tournament and the draw that took place on Sunday. So without further ado, let's get straight into the setup of the tournament. I thought it would be a lot different to how it went out. I thought it was going to be like an automated system and some of the fights may be rigged. Some of the bigger fights that people will be looking forward to may be saved to the end. However, it was in a Champions League draw style. And if anyone who doesn't know, that means that hand goes into the bucket or the bowl and you pick out a ball, you read out the name. And I was surprised when I saw this because that means anyone can be matched with anyone. And that was the case when Aneson Gib picked out Mcbroom on the third draw, you could say. The first person was my mate Nate. He went up and he selected King Kenny. And I think with this fight, you have the most technical fight of the tournament. Not many people know about my mate Nate. I didn't know about him. I went and watched a few of his videos. He's 3-0 currently. He fights with head guard on and 16-ounce gloves. But as a lot of people have been reporting, he broke someone's nose while doing that. And it's not easy to break someone's nose in 16-ounce gloves. Obviously, we all know the controversy with Kenny and his last fight. He fought Ashley Raksu, and he simply just didn't let his hands go. We all know Kenny has a jab. He probably has one of the better jabs of this crossover boxing scene. But in terms of letting his hands go, we haven't seen it. We did see him fight DK Money and he let 2 rights go. DK Money didn't want anything to do with it, and that was the end of that fight. But I think Kenny knows, I think Daily Perales knows, in order for Kenny to succeed in his boxing scene, where most fights are 4 rounds and under, you need to let your hands go. You can't try and win a fight in your traditional boxing way, which is, you know, maybe not so extravagant in terms of knockout power, but it's more so being more technical, picking your shots, hitting your jabs, etc, etc. So it's going to be interesting. I do see Kenny winning that. Obviously going down to 10-ounce gloves and taking off the headgear might be in the realm of uncertainty for my mate Nate, and I feel like once he fills those gloves, it could be a long day for him. But it could go either way. We all know Kenny hasn't been the best right now. Doesn't have the best record going into this fight. But there is still promise there, and I feel like he'll pull out on top. Alright, going into our next fight. We had JARVIS, and he selected ZANETTI. Okay. When I just spoke about having our most technical fight, I feel like now we have our most, I don't know how to word it, but it's our biggest brawl. We have JARVIS, who's come off of fighting a TikTok star, I forgot his name, Michael Lee, I believe, and beating him quite convincingly, knocked him out, and everyone thought, yes, this is like, JARVIS looks good, he's going to be one of the best in the crossover scene. And it's been about a 2-year layout since we last saw JARVIS. We have seen little clips of footage. We've seen him spar Mayweather. We've seen him spar Nick LMAO. And there's one thing that you can take, I think, from these spars. And that's that JARVIS looks technically better. In terms of his, when he fought Mayweather, yes, he got dominated. And who wouldn't get dominated? It's Floyd Mayweather. He's one of the greatest boxers to ever live. But JARVIS's footwork looked a lot better. I feel like he was, although he was getting hit, he was still throwing punches that looked promising. And I feel like we might see something surprising from JARVIS. The only worry I have is fighting ZANETTI. ZANETTI, I feel like he doesn't even know if he's going to throw a jab or if he's going to throw a hook. It's literally go out there and try to dominate the fight by doing whatever you can. And I think we saw that against Slim. Like, although he didn't dominate the fight, there was a man who gassed and a man who showed a lot of heart, but a man who threw so many good punches, and it's hard to call. It's hard to call. Obviously, because we haven't seen Jarvis in so many fights. Yes, we've seen him in the spars, but we haven't seen him in actual fights. And obviously, Tom ZANETTI we're most used to seeing because he fought latest out of the two. I don't know. My heart says Jarvis because I feel like he has been training and he does look a lot sharper. But honestly, it could go either way. It's a puncher's chance. Tom ZANETTI looks strong. I wouldn't say he upset Slim, but Slim wasn't prepared for that Tom ZANETTI that came in. And Slim is one of the better fighters in the scene. So, yeah, I think that I'll give it to Jarvis, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tom ZANETTI wins. Let's do it at that. Then Aneson Gib stepped up and he picked up a ball. He picked up a ball and the announcer said, no, put it back down. We have some questions for you. So they asked him a few questions. He picks up a ball, pops it open. Lo and behold, it's Austin Mcbroom. We have Gib versus Austin Mcbroom 2. And it's interesting, right? Because I watched the breakdown video with King Kenny and Wade and Sensei. And apparently Sensei, who's one of the main co-hosts of the tournament, said that he looked over to the side where the opponent would have been picked out of, and because he wanted to see the immediate reaction. And apparently Austin Mcbroom didn't look too happy about being selected. And yes, this may just be mind games, this may be whatever, but an immediate reaction is an immediate reaction. And if it's the case of Austin Mcbroom not being ready for Gib again, we're going to see that straight away. We're going to see Gib take him out early. We're going to see Gib dominate the fight again. We're going to see Gib knock him out. And I think it's a perfectly lined up fight. It's going to bring in so many eyes. People are going to be tuning in. People are going to be trying to get the tickets. I don't see Austin Mcbroom doing any better than he did in the first fight. He had a flash knockdown in the first fight against Gib. But at the end of the day, Gib just looks like a menace. He looks hungry for it. You see him calling out the likes of Salt Pappy, the likes of Slim. Obviously, we had Jay Swingler drop out. And that is now the scenario which we're in. There's a free slot. Aneson Gib is calling out these Misfits fighters. And he's saying, jump in the ring. If you're as good as you say you are, let's do it. Let the best of the best be in this tournament. But people have forgot KSI is also there. And KSI also tweeted out, why haven't I been mentioned? Why didn't no one try to reach out to me? Then we would have like the best tournament in this crossover boxing scene. I think the layout is amazing. Not knowing who you're going to fight, putting it into a bracket system, putting who they think is the best boxers in the scene, and then eventually getting the winner who has all the bragging rights. Slim came out and said he wants to be fasting for Ramadan, and he was given too short notice, and he was shortchanged. Meant that he wasn't going to be in the tournament. With that being said, Slim also said, whoever wins the tournament, come to Misfits and fight the King. And does he have a point? I'd say maybe he does. Like, although I think Gib is one of the better fighters in the scene, that's the fight we want to see, and I would love to see it on like the KSI Jake Paul undercard, along with like the likes of Dean versus Waleed Sharks. Like, I think those would be some huge fights. But yeah, and then our last fight was the Brazilian. His name is WHINDERSSON. I think I've got that right. But he looks very promising. He's fought previous fighters. He looks like he has the technical ability. He looks like he has chin. He looks like he has the heart. So I think he's going to be one to watch. We don't know who he's fighting yet. Obviously, Jay Swingler dropped out and they're trying to fill in the position. But I think we're going to have one of the craziest crossover boxing events to date. Obviously, Misfits is doing their thing. All of their events blow up and they do so well. But I think this is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I don't even know who's going to win it all. I would say Gib. If I was going to go with anyone, I'd say Gib. But there's a few things I want to see. I want to see how Jarvis performs. I want to see how Austin Mcbroom has performed after his video saying that he had COVID going into the first Gib fight. I want to see Kenny letting his hands go. I want to see my mate Nate. Obviously, we know that he looks promising, but I want to see what he's got in his locker. Again, Tom ZANETTI, Jarvis. I just want to see a scrap. Who else was there? WHINDERSSON. Yeah, let's just see it all. Like, I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to come out on top? What do you think of the draw? I'll be back again soon. Maybe trying to break down these fights and how I think they'll go. And peace.